Hey guys, I'm here with Gabe Dasilva today. He's walking us through one of his projects. And if you guys don't know who Gabe has been a builder now for several years, and he has a really interesting story behind him. So today we want to just spend some time with him and get to know him a little bit better, and we can see one of your job sites, which is exciting. Gabe, tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
So my name's Gabe Dasilva. The name of my company is Dasilva Homes, and we are a custom home builder in Union County. And we specialize in taking dated capes and ranches and blowing the roof off. So that niche is attic levels. And so and that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're doing here. And I'm excited to show you guys around.
4 years, man, and you've scaled this pretty quickly. How did you get started?
At first, we started with one project with money invested out of a 401k.
Okay.
So my first project, I took money from my old corporate employer 401k, bought my first deal. That was an 8-month project in Union, and I did just that one using just those monies and some borrowed monies. I raised hard money and just kind of progressed from there. Did the one, did really well on it, jumped from 1 to 2 to 4 to 6, and kind of just made that progression and scaled that way, and just kept pushing constantly, using leverage, which is like a 4-letter word. A lot of guys are afraid to use leverage, and the reality of it is, if you're going to grow and if you want to grow fast, unless you have a wealthy uncle, the only other way to do it is to leverage other people's money. And so I was wise to that and quickly went that route, and that's how we got from doing a deal 4 years ago to doing 12 deals last year. And at any given time, we can run 4 to 6, at our peak, 8 projects at once. So anyway, that's a testament to using leverage, raising money, and the system, of course, too, because I'm just one person, and without my team, I couldn't do all
Why
this.
real estate? I mean, why flipping homes? What attracted you to this kind of business?
So I'm second generation, so I grew up in and around the real estate business. My dad was a builder, and so I remember as a kid coming home and him reviewing blueprints on the kitchen table, and you're so young that you don't realize that you're internalizing so much stuff. And so you're sitting there and you're hearing him say things and you're watching him do things. And at the time, of course, like every parent, they want their kid to get a corporate job and wear a suit to work and all that stuff. So I did, and ultimately wound up hating it, and just like naturally felt called to this. And then as I started, I was like, wow, I can read a blueprint. I understand the words the contractors are saying and the terms they're using. And I can carry on a conversation with an architect or an engineer or an inspector. And of course, like, you hone those skills over time, like in real time while you're actually doing it. But it was just funny to see how much of that stuff I internalized subconsciously as a kid.
And you probably thought it was like normal for people to know these things, right? You never knew you had that special, quality about yourself. Yeah. But then you come to find out that you have a gift for it. And I don't know about you, but on every job I still learn something. There's always things to learn, And laws are constantly changing. Permit rules are always updated, and before you know it, this will be a whole new industry in 5 years. It'll be totally different,
It continues to evolve. I'm sure as we walk through this house, we'll find some stuff. I'll point out, I'm open to my wins and my losses, right? Like, we make mistakes constantly, and so we fail. The idea is to fail fast and fail forward. And so I'm sure as we walk through here, I'll identify 2 or 3 things we've already done wrong here. And every time we do, we learn, and we just keep moving forward. And so long as you're doing that, like, don't make the same mistake twice. Other than that, like, everything else is cool.
Awesome. All right, which way do you want to go next?
Well, there's a small room here. Well, in every house, always the idea is to try and find how we can add value. So this room wasn't a 4th bedroom. This house was a 3-bed, and when we came in, it was just an underutilized space. It was a den, office, study, whatever you want to call it, but didn't have any closets. And as you know, you can't call it a bedroom without a closet. So along this back wall was a fireplace. A bedroom with a fireplace doesn't make much sense, especially the way it was laid out. You would ordinarily never get rid of a fireplace in a house, but in this scenario, we're gonna block it off and we're gonna create 2 closets. So this will make for a really nice 4th bedroom with big closets and a ton of light.
So it's just not your typical build. You're not going up a level, so you're getting pretty creative with the space you have.
Yeah, well, because there was a lot of space. We're over a garage right now, and on these raised ranches, a lot of times this is underutilized space. And so we'll take advantage of this. We'll reclaim this as a 4th bedroom, and now we're in a completely different space.
This is a great footprint anyway. People love ranches.
Yeah, and if we had gone up here, we'd be here for significantly longer. Yep. We'd be spending a whole lot more money.
Almost the same money profit, right?
Exactly, and so attic levels are our niche, like I was saying earlier. But to do one in this market in particular, when there's two others on the street that have been sitting, doesn't make sense.
It's a scary thing. You gotta read the market. You gotta be smart.
Yeah. So now everybody wants second floor laundry. So we moved the laundry upstairs.
Of course.
This was a tiny linen closet. So we stole from the closet on the other side and made this double deep. So now you can actually put laundry in here. All right. Because otherwise it would have been super tight. Perfect. So we got second floor laundry.
Wow, look at this house.
Yeah, this is an oversized bath to cater to the 3 bedrooms. So we were just here today laying this out, and as it sits now, this was the existing layout, so you could even tell where everything's still marked. But I thought to separate it because it's going to cater to the 3 bedrooms. So we'll put a door here, create separation, so if someone's showering, someone else can still brush their teeth, wash their face, whatever the case is.
Yeah, privacy.
So otherwise,
gives a high feel.
It's big, it's overkill, but the footprint was what it was. To be shifting walls inside of here unnecessarily is just, it didn't make sense. So we'll keep it double vanity, tub, toilet exactly where it was, and then just create separation with this door.
So I'm sure a lot of viewers are wondering, where did you find this property? Because that's kind of a shortage of inventory nowadays.
Yeah.
So you gotta get creative.
Yeah, this one came off a mailer. There's a whole backstory to this house. This came off a mailer. We sent letters. We did, I think we do like 400 to 500 letters a month in Mountainside in particular. And this house has been on the list for over a year. And the letter hit, they called, and they weren't ready to sell. They were almost like testing the market. They wanted to see. And so we came out, we spent, I don't know, maybe an hour with the couple, talked about it, walked the house, followed up 2-3 more times, was actually back out once more, and they still just like couldn't wrap their heads around selling. They said they were ready, but they just weren't. And so ultimately, a year later, almost to the day, they called, and the only reason I know, the only reason I know is because it was timestamped, and I had a picture of the house, and I looked back on it, and I was like, oh wow, it's like almost a year to the day. And they called and they said, hey, if you're still buying, we're finally ready to sell. Oh, wow. And so, I mean, that's a testament to, like, you know, never giving up, and for sure being consistent with your marketing and tracking deals. Like, this deal's been on the board at the office this whole year because they never said no. So if they never said no, then it's
still follow.
It's still a maybe.
All right, so tell me what you did out here, Gabe.
So they actually just wrapped up over the weekend, and the siding was completely shot. So we had to do everything new. We did Norandex 7 graphite. This siding, it's been our go-to on the last 3 or 4 houses. It's super dark, and like with the white contrast, people seem to love it. So yeah, we didn't want to, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we stuck with that. The one thing we did want to do was kind of highlight the gable. So we put shake. So it's faux shake, right? It's vinyl shake, but it gives it a different look. And that was super muted, and none of that had any like appeal to it at all. And now I think as you stand back, the house, it really does pop, right? The white. We had what was a ground level deck. I don't know why anyone would have ever built a deck that way, but the deck was actually laying on the ground. So of course, all that moisture, so the deck was completely rotted out. We took it out, and then we did what I think is, you know, a nice size paver patio for this space. Nice. Enough room for them to walk out, a grill, a sitting area, good to entertain.
So a tough question. If we do have a change in the economy, how will you shift your business model? Do more of the kind of like renos instead of the raised attic levels, or what do you think it'll go to?
I think we're seeing some softening already. I don't want to say correction, recession. I don't want to use any of those words yet. Right. I think what we're seeing is a softening, and especially at the higher price points, which is why here, instead of going up like you've seen up and down this street, we did a cosmetic, or I don't know if you call this cosmetic, right? But our shift is already happening. We're already shifting, and we're trying to get away from anything that puts us up in the 1.2 to 1.8 range finished. It's just way too much risk. It's a lot of debt to service. It sits longer. There's less buyers at that price point. So I still think the sweet spot is the 550 to 750 buyer. I love building at that price point.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of buyers there. And you could build what they want, you know. There's probably coming together as a couple with their first, maybe second kid on the way. They're stepping up from either a rental or something small where they got started into something that has 3 or 4 beds. And so I feel really good about building for that client. I feel like we really know them well. So we'll stick to building that, and that's still our core competency. And then we'll shift our business accordingly. We do some educational stuff, so obviously we'll keep doing that. The supply company, we're expanding into multifamilies, looking to start building a portfolio, passive income portfolio, rentals. So yeah, and that's our theme for the year. Like going into the new year, when we sat down with the team at the beginning of the year, we said like, we're gonna be open this year, open to new opportunities, open to collaboration, open to different revenue streams, you can't be a one-trick pony, you just can't. You run the risk of a shift in the market, puts you on your ass, you just can't. So we're being smart about that and just being proactive and already out there looking and stay ahead of the curve and pay attention to marketing. Go to those events, go see Otto, right? When he does his fall and spring market forecast, it's coming up. So I'm gonna go see him again in February. And he's got all the data, right? So we pay attention, that's it.
So Gabe, how can people get a hold of you? And you do a lot of educational stuff, so I'm sure they probably want to see that as well.
Yeah, sure. So we're online at Real Gabe Dasilva is me personally on Instagram. Follow me there. On Facebook, it's me personally or Dasilva Homes. And like you were saying, the education stuff, we do bus tours.
Nice.
We're launching a master class this year, all targeted at flippers, kind of like if you're an aspiring flipper or you want to get into the game, or if you've done a handful of deals but don't quite know how to scale, that's what we're out there creating content for. That's who we're trying to support, educate, and add value to. So everything's online, you can find us there. And I think what we're most excited about is our YouTube series. So we have something called The Build over on YouTube, and we just finished season 1. We're launching season 2, and it's just a way to chronicle what it is that we do and day in the lifestyle videos, following us around as we build homes, build our culture, build our team, and build this business.
That's exciting, brother.
Yeah, I love
thanks so much for your time today, brother.
Thanks, man.
You're doing a great job here.
Thank you.
I took some notes, some mental notes, so thanks a lot for the tour, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.